I built a modern clock like this out of a bunch of scraps like these. Here's how I did it. This whole design is made of strips that have been cut off of boards trying to narrow them down. So I always save those and they end up being useful. We're just going to make kind of like a framework out of them. Now I've gone ahead and notched these two. The idea being that this is going to be our first intersection. And what I'm doing here is just marking where the glue is going to go so I don't get carried away. Now you want to be careful on your glue usage here. You don't want a lot of glue because it'll end up making a mess. You know, if you're doing an edge panel glue up, squeeze out is important here, not so much so. So these two I'm going to notch together, and I'm not even going to bother gluing the notch. And then we're going to go ahead and glue this on, and I'm going to nail it with some really short brad nails just to hold it together while the glue is drying. Now, I'm not worried about the nail holes here because my plan ultimately is to paint this thing. Okay, so there's our first intersection. Okay, so I'm going to put another piece down here where I'm not going to bother half-lapping it into that other piece. I'm just going to put it down here, butting it up to the other piece. Okay, so you can see the start of how the design is going to go. So now what we do is we just pick additional pieces. So I'm going to take a thicker piece here, and I really don't want to go down that as far as this is, so we'll cut it off, say right about here. There we go. If you end up with a notch that's too thin where the piece won't fit in, you can take a chisel and pare away a little, very little bit of the material on the edge of your notch. Now it fits. I'm going ahead and glue it on a clock face. And there's our finished clock.